So it seems those smite spamming priests are making a definite comeback in 4.3. Let's see how they're doing in the Dragon Soul, what sort of damage and healing output they're doing, and whether it's worse to be an Atonement priest. So today we're going to be seeing if this super hybrid spec is actually making a comeback as a viable healer and DPS at the same time. Now Atonement priests up until now have pretty much been a kind of hybrid sort of class. You know, you can output a bit of damage and do a bit of healing. I know a lot of guilds that use them for their first heroic Ultraxian kill and many other first heroic kills. However, now they appear to maybe even be topping the meters with their stupidly efficient healing. They are literally raping all the other healers out just because their mana can last for so long. As you can see in this video, just clicking Holy Fire and Smite and bubbling people to keep my mana up, I am getting, 17-18k HPS. Pretty easy, very cheap on the mana, it's lovely. Now for glyphs, for prime glyphs you're probably going to want Penance, Power Word Barrier and Power Word Shield. Power Word Shield is probably the best glyph in here. Penance is pretty good, Penance is pretty efficient, and Power Word Barrier, that's just in there because to be honest there's not really much else. You could choose Prayer of Healing if you wanted to. Now for major glyphs, this glyph of Smite is probably the best glyph you could probably wish for if you're Atonement. Pretty much increases the damage done of your Smite by 20% so long as you're keeping Holy Fire on cooldown. So that's 20% more healing that you're doing from Smite and damage. Glyph of Prayer of Mending, just because that's nice to keep bouncing around sometimes. And then I've gone and taken the Glyph of Master Spell. Now, minor glyphs, obviously, none of them really help too much, but they can help a bit. So it reduces the mana cost of your Fade, because you're doing both damage and healing. Sometimes you can cause quite a lot of threat, so I guess that does help in some cases. Glyph of Levitate saves you carrying around regions. Glyph of Shadow Fiend, on the odd occasion your Shadow Fiend can die, so that can help occasionally. Moving on to talents, I suggest you copying this spec, just mainly because it's pretty much the basic kind of disc Atonement spec. However, you could swap a couple of points around if you wanted to. But the main points you do really need are improved Power Word Shield, Twin Disciples, Mental Agility, their bog standard. Obviously you're going to have to go into Evangelism. Obviously you're going to have to go into Evangelism and Archangel to restore your mana. Power Infusion you're going to need, and then of course Atonement. Inner Focus is very good for that free heal every 45 seconds. Soul Warding could go somewhere else, but I've decided to take it. Renewed Hope, I think this is pretty good. Increased crit chance of Flash Heal, Great Heal, Heal and Penance on anyone with Grace or the bubble debuff on them. So that can help quite a bit. Rapture you're definitely going to need just to help you get your mana back. Borrowed Time, optional but recommended. Pain Suppression, yeah, I'd take that. Train of Thought, that's very optional to be honest. Completely up to you, but I've decided to take it. Grace, Divine Aegis and Power Word Barrier are again definitely recommended. Then Divine Fury, Empowered Healing, Inspiration, that would be the spec that I would usually go for. However, if you wanted to, you could take a few points out of these and go into Darkness and Veiled Shadows. So, how's this all done anyway? An infinite mana pool, 20k healing per second, free healing. So, what's the catch? Well, that's the thing. there is no catch. Because Atonement priests have been scaling so well with spell power recently, their healing has shot through the roof. Just pop on 2 intellect trinkets and pretty much all you need to do is keep your Archangel on cooldown, keep the bubble debuff on someone so you're constantly getting the mana back from that rapture, make sure your Holy Fire dot is always on the target, and you are set. But remember, just because you're Atonement priest doesn't mean that you cannot output good normal healing spells. On some fights you may be required not to go Atonement, simply because your normal healing spells will be more reliable and more bursty than your Atonement. So still cast your Prayer of Healing, especially still keep your Prayer of Mending out, and watch out for the raid's health, you know. But when everything seems alright, just keep spamming out those Holy Fires and smites, and I can almost guarantee you'll be topping those meters on full mana. Now, as you probably realised by now, nearly every boss in Dragon Soul has some form of damage increase on them. Deathwing has Cataclysm, being the best damage increase of them all. Zonos has that stacking buff when you hit the ball into her. Also Hagara, when she's stunned, she has that damage increase done to her as well. So what's this got to do with Atonement? Well, the harder you hit, the more you heal. That's why if you watch this clip that I'm showing you now, you will see over 60k heals costing under 2k mana. So go pop a priest and harass those hard modes like never before.